Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. Today we're going to talk about the announcement that Dasung actually made, I believe on December 30th. So just at the end of the year, they announced their new upcoming e-ink monitor, and that would be the Dasung 253. So let's see, what can we conclude from the promotional video and what can we expect? Dasung 253 is going to be, or is, I don't know, because it hasn't come out yet, but basically that's a computer screen that is using e-ink technology, which means that it's not front-lit or backlit or anything like that, and it's low power consumption. But the cool thing about it is that it is 25.3 inches diagonal, which is huge. That's a very, very interesting prospect because so far we've had 10.3 inch, 13.3 inch devices, and pretty much most of them max out at around 13.3 inches. The exception is of course QuirkLogic's Quilla, but that's a whiteboard King Kong of a thing for presentations. It's not a dedicated screen per se. Dasung have been making dedicated e-ink screens for a while now, and they seem to be upping their game quite a bit. I find it very interesting and very exciting to actually see this product because it's the first one that can be very, very usable in the real world if an e-ink screen is something that you're looking for. What are the specifications of the screen? Well, first of all, obviously it's an e-ink screen, which means it's grayscale. So no colors on this screen at all, and it can display the picture in 16 shades of grayscale. The resolution is quite high. It's 3200 by 1800 pixels. So well above the 1440p and all of that kind of stuff, which is very, very cool to actually see that because combined with the 25.3 inch diagonal, that means that you will get around 145 pixels per inch density. Well, some people say like, well, the tablets are more dense. Yes, they are, but you are looking at them at, you know, kind of 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter closeness. That's certainly not something that you're going to be doing with a 25.3 inch screen. So for screens that are like monitors, this kind of a pixel per inch resolution is actually quite good. There is no front light, which is one of the points of this screen. Why would you want an e-ink screen? Well, because you want to save your eyes. So it's actually something that you're reading from an unlit surface, that it's actually lit by your environment light. And as such, then it actually, for me personally, makes perfect sense not to have that front light. The monitor is using something they call Turbo Tech, which is used to speed up the refresh rate of the screen to allow for video playback refresh speeds. Now, it's never going to be at 60 Hz or 144 Hz or anything like that. No, we are in e-ink world. So yeah, you can probably, from what I can see there, it's maybe something like 10, 12 frames a second, but what we can't see, because it's a very low resolution video and there's no high-res close-ups, we can't really see the examples of ghosting. So I don't know how that Turbo Tech is affecting the video type of display. However, if it doesn't ghost that much, I believe that then this kind of technology can be perfectly useful for scrolling content, reading websites and documents and all that kind of stuff, and especially for typing, because then you have fast enough refresh rates, and if the ghosting is controlled in a nice fashion, then this screen actually would make a lot of sense, because then you would have responsive typing on an e-ink screen that's 25.3 inches in scale, which is awesome. If you are interested in video material, gaming or anything like that, and you're considering an e-ink screen, read up on e-ink technology and reconsider your priorities, because that's not what this technology is for. This is for something else. So you will be much, much better catered for by some other type of screen. Frankly, I find it absolutely ridiculous that most of the articles are actually saying this is not a screen that you would use for gaming. Bravo, what a freaking conclusion. That's just amazing. But anyway, so really good resolution, pretty good PPI for a monitor, excellent size and a refresh rate that promises to be adequate for that type of use. We don't know about the ghosting, so hopefully some new promo material that they start releasing in the future will actually show what it's like. So that's the panel itself, but the computer screen is much more than just the panel. It has to be ergonomic enough to actually use it, and it has to have some type of peripheral connectivity. So let's check out what can we conclude or infer from the video. What type of ergonomics can we expect from the Dasung 253? Well, first of all, the screen is not flush with the frame, but that frame is not too deep, so that indentation is not too deep, which is good because you won't get those deep shadows from the frame and all that kind of stuff. So I do like that. The thing that I don't like is that the frame itself is actually quite wide, not thick, but wide. For my taste, the design looks a little bit old, especially with those wide edges or the wide frame, and it would have been nice if the actual frame was of the gray or white color of the screen itself, so that it becomes a little bit more kind of modern, that it differentiates itself from other screens, because then that would actually make a lot more sense. Now, the screen itself seems to be relatively on the medium thinner side. It's definitely not super thin, but it's not a thick monster, especially for a 25.3-inch panel. So that seems to be a good thing, at least what we can see from the images. Another thing that I'm not a big fan from the design that they actually showed are the buttons on the bottom, the control buttons, and they are quite large, which is okay, but they are like, they seem very old and clunky. And the design decision that actually puzzles me is that you have a grayscale display with bright color buttons on them, and that just feels like a design mismatch to me. I wasn't able to find information if the screen surface is glass or plastic. However, since the screen is not flush, we have that indentation. It's a fairly safe bet to assume that the screen surface is going to be plastic, which is good because that means that it's going to be a matte surface, which is excellent. Definitely something that we're looking for on an unlit device such as this one. Now, the monitor comes with a stand. For me, these stands are important, a very important consideration, because especially a bigger screen like this needs to be ergonomically flexible. And I was like dreading, like, oh no, it looks kind of fixed, yet you can't do anything, because too many screens actually come with like just a, you put it on the desk and that's it, like just everything else around it. Not so with the Dasung 253, which is excellent, and towards the end of the video they finally show it that you can swivel, tilt and turn the screen itself, and yes, you can tilt by 90 degrees, which is absolutely perfect, because that's basically the use case scenario where I would use this screen. I would turn it into vertical mode and use it for coding. And in that kind of setup, that would be absolutely perfect. So I'm very, very happy to see that. And additionally, it is also, it looks like it at least, that it is height adjustable, an extremely important consideration as well. And finally, as far as the mounting and the ergonomics of the screen goes, it has a VESA standard on the back, but a proper VESA standard on the back, which means that you can mount it on a wall mount or a desk arm or anything like that. But what do I mean when I say a proper VESA mount? Well, it's flat and it's unobstructed by any kind of indentations or protrusions around it or anything like that, which means that it's going to be compatible with pretty much every single VESA mount that you might have or might want to use. And that's actually a problem, and it can be a huge hassle if you encounter a product that is, for example, indented into the frame. I'm looking at you, Dell. You know what you did. Anyway, I couldn't find any information about whether the device has USB ports or a USB hub. Is it powered by a normal power cable or maybe by a USB cable itself? Because that would be freaking awesome, because that's one of the huge benefits of e-ink technology. They are low power consumers, and that means that if it is USB powered, That would be fantastic because less cables, you can use it with a laptop, and yeah, you can use it with other things as well. So that would be an interesting thing to actually see. But unfortunately, as of yet, I don't have any info regarding those things. Dasung 253 should come out sometime this year. However, it's undisclosed when. It could be anytime. We have absolutely no idea. Similarly, the price, we don't know what it will be. However, these are very pricey devices because it's a niche kind of area. Not many people are going to be buying it. Not many of the units are going to be produced. And plus, it's like a bespoke technology almost, especially in this one when they're using a 25.3-inch e-ink panel. Considering that their Dasung's 13.3-inch screens are around $1,200, which is really expensive, we can only assume that this is going to be a lot more expensive. And there are some indications and some people actually suggesting that the price is going to be between the range of $1,500 and $3,000, which really hurts, like properly hurts. So yeah, it's going to remain a niche product, but then again, it's the first of its type and first of its class. And the firsts always are going to be a rare beast to find. Nevertheless, I will attempt to establish contact with Dasung and see if it's at all possible that maybe at some point I could receive a review test unit of the Dasung 253 so that we can check it out and that I can bring it closer to you so that you know if it's something that is right up your alley, is that something that's worth the price tag, what the price tag might be, and all that kind of stuff. I hope you liked the video. I'm quite excited about this kind of thing because it potentially could be something very interesting. However, that price is ugh. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell to get notified when the new videos on mydeepguide are coming out. Also, consider checking out mydeepguide on patreon.com. If you like my work and if you like what I do, that's another way that you can actually support the platform so that I can focus more on mydeepguide and bring you better quality and more versatile type of content. And to existing patrons, thank you so much. You really rock. All right, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.